I think we all know that the internet is always filled with many things that can help entertain and interest a person, but while searching through basically the endless number of websites out there, you may run into something that just seems odd and does not seem like anything you ever seen, which keeps you curious about this weird occurrence. This is the feeling that SML Wiki gives off when running into it. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about a disturbing website named smlwiki.com. Now, I have heard about this website a while back, and I was interested about how some people found it disturbing and just completely weird. Now, this website has characters and casts from the SML YouTube channel, which me and many people have watched as kids. I remember watching these videos with a bowl of cereal in the living room when they filmed during the mom house and apartment era. If you don't know the SML show, it's a puppet show that presented video game characters with funny personalities. Well, that is until Logan, the content creator, received a letter. He had no choice but to stop using these video game characters and use his own, which may have had some old fans to stop watching with too many Jeffy videos, and how some people thought it didn't really feel the same. But I personally think that the SML channel is doing great, especially that the fact that they have their own characters now. I do miss the old video game characters, but I'm happy for the cast and for the channel. But this is where SML Wiki would come in. Now that we're in the menu screen, there's a mailbox.
Check the mail. 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 Check.
Now, the mailbox is full of house payment bills, but we get this note. My sweet Nezzy, I know you're mad at me, even for all my accomplishments. I have not been a good father to you. You would always tell me I spent too much time in my lab and not enough time with you. For that, I am deeply sorry. I'm not sure where else to deliver this message, but here. So I hope it will find its way to you. Maybe one day we can reconnect before it's too late. Sincerely, your father. Now, I'm not sure what this is, but I'm sure it'll make sense later on. Now, we can see some familiar things if you're an SML fan. First, we get the new house on the left side, where Logan films all his new videos currently. While on the right side, we see a smaller house. Now, if you watch SML for a while, then I'm sure we all recognize this as the mom house era, where we see all the old SML characters. We can also see Marvin's dead corpse. I don't know why that's there, but I'll figure it out in a bit. But for now, let's head into the new house. When entering, we can see the photos that reveal most of the SML cast members, including Tito. To be honest, looking at the room with all these photos makes it look like as if a serial killer was setting up these photos of its victims and who to go after. Let's first look at the first photo. Chris, also known as Pooby, Pablo, and probably other nicknames. Now, looking at his photo, it doesn't really seem that creepy, but just weird and pretty funny. But in his description is where it makes his page a little bit more creepier. We can see on the top that it says bloodshed, which means the wounding or killing of many people. There's also a sentence under this saying, to trade my country for a flag, God made death so beautiful in our tender, blood agony, accent zero boundary. The artist always lives in isolation from society, beauty in death of your flesh and blood, it makes us hungry. The raging fire howls. And under that it says, and I quote, but the scene was too gruesome. Blood streamed across the floorboards, soaking into the carpet. The victim's back was split apart, hands and feet severed off at the joints. Every inch of skin had been ripped at and peeled away. The red silhouette of a thin human, she died without any ounce of mercy. Going through Pooby's page, it seemed pretty confusing. I remember a while back there was also something else that would pop up when staying at his page for too long, but they might have changed it maybe for another Easter egg to be added. I'm not really sure, but To be honest, reading his description, it just seems like they're just adding stuff maybe for his character in this somewhat story. For now, we'll just leave that as a mystery and move on towards our next character. For our next person, we got Lavelle. Personality. Lavelle is mostly a pure soul with a positive aura. How could any of us deny that? He is grateful and enthusiastic about being here. Lavelle is also famous for his roles as Charlie from the in-universe series Charlie and Friends, Chef, and Braxton. In the bottom, it says, "The ills keep suffocating the laws, keep it despicable, nose clean, releases a man in drag. When I died, they put me in a glass room and they lowered me down and I stood right back up and spat off their face. I made fun of their guns and uniforms, but the noise never stopped. Efficacious pounding in my brain and their faces was all red and round and they cut me with their knives, but I didn't complain or cry. I stand back." Now, if I'm being honest, I really don't understand what any of this means, but I'm sure it will make sense later, unless it's just there to make the page creepier. Now, when going back to the house, Lavelle's face changes and it's more creepy now, and every time you click on it, it just sends you to the face of whatever this thing is now. Next up, we got Tito. Now, when we click on Tito, there's not really much. All we get is 2 videos, so let's just watch it.
The reforms are...
Now, these 2 videos are definitely important, but I'm not really sure what they exactly serve in this story. But it seems like they're more connected to the episode section of the website, so it'll probably make more sense later on once we're up to that section. For now, let's get up to our next character. Now, heading into our next person, we have Lance, Logan's brother. Now, for Lance, we get a description in this page. Lance is a shape-shifting nocturnal deity. He engages with the fans more than the other cast members. Lance likes to have spontaneous meetups. The photos shown are supposed to be the photo sites of this shapeshifter. You know, looking at these photos now just gives off this paranoid feeling where it feels like you're being watched. In addition to the fact that some of these photos look familiar, yet I've never been there. Although some of those were filmed in the SML video, most of them that are shown are images I have never seen. Now, while looking at this weird page about this shapeshifter, something else happens. We're being watched. Last, we have Logan, the SML content creator. Now, when clicking on this, we are taken to the dark room with only the light pointing at what seems to be Logan's ID, I think, on the floor. Not really sure, but when clicking on it, the screen switches to Logan's face smiling and eyes following the mouse. Similar to how Mario does when starting up Mario 64. Nothing really happens. That is until we get a jump scare. After that, we are later taken back to the main menu screen of the website. Now, there might be more jump scares and flashing lights, so this is just a warning. Now, we're not done with the current SML house because we are given the option to explore more of it. When clicking the arrow, we are taken to the hallway of the house, where we can see multiple doors that seem to be open. Now, when checking the hallway, it does not let us proceed to explore more of this house, but instead the rooms that are open. When entering the first room, we can see some sort of fortune machine that seems to be a Lance animatronic. When you click and hold, this happens.
When both kids die, we have to speak to her, the great area buster. A transition occurs, and their body arrows in the turn of a clock. Now, we think a light. The light you see, and which breathes in your skin. The light that hurts your mind, but offers you energy.
Now, if I'm being honest with you, I don't really know what I'm hearing. This Lance machine raises a lot of questions. Who's her? Why specifically good kids? And most importantly, what does this connect to? Another thing that I have not pointed out was the thing on the left side. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be any of the cast members or just some guard animatronic. Now, this Lance machine does represent a fortune machine, I assume so. And whatever Lance is saying could be something that will happen in the future of the website. Now, I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm assuming that maybe it's an occurrence, or maybe this message has something to do with the fate of the website in the future. This is just me guessing it, since the Lance machine does look similar to a fortune machine. I'm not really sure, but overall the whole room is just dark and full of emptiness, and it's just you and Lance to talk to, with Lance only repeating the same thing, the same message. I don't know what he's trying to tell, but I'm assuming it's something about the website. Heading back to the hallways, we are unable to enter the other rooms for now, but we are able to head upstairs. Now, when heading upstairs, we enter a room with 3 doors. On the left door, we get a set of these website episodes, which we will review later. On the middle door, we enter a dark room with only a telephone to be shown. Now, I try to see if I can just answer the phone and I would get a reply, but nothing happened. So I tried putting some random numbers in, and yet nothing happened. So I did my research to see if the number was maybe Logan's birthday or favorite numbers or something like that. A few moments later, I found it, and that's when it started ringing.
Proud about y'all. Every time Looney Tunes come on, y'all put Porky's butthole on. I figured last night, and the second cartoon come on, it was Porky's friggin' old butthole. I said, surely y'all ain't gonna put...
Now, if I'm being honest with you, I couldn't understand what this person was trying to say. All I heard was butthole and waking up in the morning. I'm not sure if this serves an important role in this website, but I'm certain with what this person's talking about is maybe connected to the episode of the website. But for now, that will be all for that. Now, on the left door, we get Bart Simpson. I remember when I got into this page, I was freaked out because I didn't know what was going to happen. Now, let's go on to the next house. The old SML house. The place where the saga all started, where the great SML adventure began and introduced the characters we love. Clicking on this house will take us to the image of the front yard. Now, nothing really happens in this image. In order to play the game, you must click the door or the image. When clicking, you have entered the house. When entering, you are there to explore the empty dead house filled with lost memories. This reminds me of the SML theory that every character is dead and that they're all ghosts, which would explain why some die and are able to respawn. This would also explain why Luigi would mostly only appear in the Luigi's Mansion series. Now, going through this house, it kind of creeps me out. It's too quiet to the point where it makes me feel paranoid that somebody's out there watching us, or maybe behind us. Another thing is that some of these images in the game were never really shown in the old SML era. Just some that were just not there. Like, we've seen it, but we just haven't seen the other part of the house, if you know what I'm trying to say. Having us question, where did these photos come from? Are they other random images? Or was it real images of the house that was somehow added to the game? Heading towards the kitchen, we can see that it's pretty dark and we only have the option to just go towards the table. We can see that there's a note. Leave. somebody has now entered the room. So I was right. That feeling of being paranoid was not just there because it was really quiet, but because someone was really watching. I don't know if our mystery person has seen us yet, but in order to escape this creature, you have to press the arrow in the bottom multiple times. There's your exit. When leaving, you're shown a do not enter sign. At least that's what I think it says. And something else laying there.
Hey, it's Super Mario Logan. You just beat my game. Good job.
That's right, that was a whole game. There's nothing really left to do here, but just keep playing until the creature finds you. Now there's another game named Find the Brooklyn Guy, but it's basically, just you finding Brooklyn Guy.
Oh, shucks.
Until you're given the option to take out one Brooklyn Guy. It's either you choose red or blue. I chose red and I lost apparently, but if you chose blue, the same thing would happen. In this cutscene, we see what seems to be Jeffy taking away Brooklyn Guy, and then it just cuts. Now I think it's important we should start heading to the episodes section. Now going through this section, we get 4 episodes, with one of them being locked. Now while going through these videos, I have to say they are very interesting.
Oh yeah, it's time for Marvin Jumpy song.
Now, if I'm being honest with you, these clips kind of feels like one of those crazy random adventures that someone would go through for the smallest things. They also put up a real competition towards a regular show, and it's also the fact that these clips look like it could have came from a weird dream that someone would have when they watch SML and YTP at the fullest. Now, there's one episode that is very extreme, and it just feels like you're going through this crazy nightmare slash dream that I want to show you guys. This is the Misery episode.
Oh, shit, that's my fridge. Oh.
Now here is where we get some stuff. We have gotten messages throughout this video, But we also got some of these text boxes. Embedded in my back it may be, it's inside but will tell all in my words. Or no, can't talk fast. It and me can't talk. I and B, small, great sinking ship. This is the part, it's small, but I have found a treasure. How to move the biggest treasure too. To trade my country for a flag God made death. So beautiful, beauty in death. I think this kind of sounds familiar because in the last part, this is probably one of the descriptions of the cast members. In the next one, it says, those are the most important things in the world right now, and then register a new email. You are so cool. You are so cute. You are still super cute and brave. You're really brave for putting yourself out there and meeting new people. In the other box, it's basically just a lot of cussing, which I'm not really gonna put in because I don't know if it really serves anything important. It probably does, but then again, I don't think we need to read that last one. Overall, we see Junior playing the Charlie and Friends game, Charlie waking up, walking around his room, and then he looked towards the window to see something that says, flesh, please eat the flesh, and it repeats. And the video just ends with Marvin dying. I started going through the characters section of the website to see how they're somehow connected with these episodes. Now, there were a lot of characters, so I only looked through the ones that were significant in the website. What I found interesting was Chef Pee-Pee's page with the corrupted music, including Junior, who had something important in his description that may serve a significant role in the website. And I quote, Junior has the face of God. What does this exactly mean? Has he swapped faces? This would explain his appearance, but we're not really given anything else. Aside from that, going to Shrek's page, we just get a video. Let's see what it is.
自殺する。自分を殺してください。
これは神の声です。あなたはもうすぐ死にます。次の車の前に走る。
Now, doing my research on this video, I found out what was said in English and who the girl is. In this sentence that I'm about to read, and quote, it's not clear what connected the spirit to Shrek in the first place. She is known as Barb or Barbus, is often hostile and was apparently unable to peacefully depart after death, even before the event of the imbalance. When prominent, her manifestation appears as a pale white, sickly young girl with tattered hair, bloody teeth, lips, and breast eyes. So we finally got our answer, but what is the event of the imbalance? Now, exploring more of the website, I looked at other stuff such as the places section, and I figured out about the silhouette that is after you in the old SML house. This creature has been human at some point. In the description, it tells us that it is known to roam the SML old house and basically guard the place. It usually is around dark places with small spaces. This would explain why it is so quiet and empty. It also says that Lance may have gotten his powers from the connection with this creature, so we now know some things about this creature, but yet nothing about the event of the imbalance. I think the creature only serves a purpose to haunt those who dare enter the old SML house because it sees it as its home. It's dark and empty, and it's the perfect place for the perfect monster. But this yet leaves a mystery about this one question. What is the event of the imbalance? It took me a while to access this, but we finally got to the computer. Entering this part of the website brings us to a dark room with a laptop. Our wallpaper is Lance staring at us through the window. On the right bottom side of the computer, we can see a post-it note that says smlwiki.com terrace. When typed, we are loaded into the page. If you put a code that isn't on the website, you will receive a message. This is important because if you see the caps on the message, it actually gives us a 6-digit code. Now I tried doing my research to figure out the origin of this video. It could have been an old SML clip that probably been deleted and maybe only seen by a few. Another thing is the Mario plush reminded me of the Cooking with Mario and Mario and Luigi Goes to the Park videos, but then again, this could just be a plushie that the website's creator has and he just made the clip with it. This video is actually a clue. Why is that? Because if we remember, Mario was a part of the SML character before Marvin took that away. Wait a minute. That's it. Playing around with the laptop, I tried doing my research for some codes. I have gotten some, including the Marvin game. Throughout the game, when running into Shrek, he jump scares us, and we eventually run into what seems to be the corpse of the ones who did not survive the old SML house or the mysterious event of the imbalance. As we continue to roam, we run into a button to where we are jump scared and then taken to another game. In this game, it's just some empty, dark hallway with dark rooms and strange music playing in the background. But as we keep walking, the screen starts to shake and then we get this. Going back to the computer, I tried looking for more codes, and all we get is this. We enter this small house and now we are stuck here. In the game, we can see a table and a computer, but nothing else. Aside from that, there's something that is staring at us through the window. What could this be and why are we being watched? Wait a minute, the wallpaper. That's right, when looking at the wallpaper, Lance is looking at us through the window. So this means the computer we're using is actually Lance's computer. This is Lance's room. This would explain the wallpaper and the person who is watching us through the window. After going through some of these browsers and more research, we finally got something interesting. What is going on here and what is that thing? Is this the event of the imbalance? I think that it is. We are a step closer to solving this. Now the next code brought us to this empty facility with broken tubes and a messy hallway with blood on the walls. When walking out of the game, it freezes, leading us with one last code to find. As we play another game that one of these codes gives us, there's a grave, and in the tombstone, we finally have our last code. We are in a dark room with a timer. As we roam the area, there appears to be some doors. If we exit, we get the bad ending. But if we proceed to do what we have to do, well, we get this. We finished the game, but what now? And what was the point of all of these minigames, videos, and the description of the cast and characters? Well, let's break it down. Now, in the SML cinematic universe, the SMLCU, they had their own version of their gods, which were the cast members shown in the new house. Tito is new, but I guess he counts. The world is filled with the characters that we all know. Mario, Cody, Bowser Jr., Shrek, and many more. Before the present time SML universe, we had the old universe that was filled with the Nintendo characters. Their previous life, that was until their universe was at the brink of death. The letter that caused the beginning of the SML universe forced the SML creator to kill off the old universe, to permanently remove it and abandon it, to transfer over to the new universe. The new SML universe that we know today. Everything changed. Every character had a new name, new looks, and a new origin story, such as Dougie. One day, SML creators demanded a cloning facility of the puppets, which is what we see in one of the games that the code gives us. This was done in order to make more puppets and other stuff that would help keep the SML brand alive in order to carry out their empire. Now, the reason why we get multiple houses is because this is where these clones live. They came from the facility with the broken tubes that we played in one of the mini games from the laptop. This is where the puppets are created. Picture it as Steven Universe. The diamonds are seen as gods, since they are the creators of the gems that are created in Homeworld, just like the SML characters and their origin in the facility. As the empire grows in power, something occurs, an anomaly in their world, which was Marvin. That's right, a Marvin clone has gained consciousness and decides to do what it wants to do. As another anomaly appears, Marvin sees this and immediately removes him. This was the clue that we previously got from the laptop section of the website. It's also similar to Bowser Jr. opening the door for the new SML character Braxton Jr., who was looking for any anomalies that are not supposed to exist in this new SML universe. Those who were able to survive the universe resets were not supposed to be in this new universe. But why is Braxton Jr. searching? Well, it's because he's the face of God, the face of the in-universe SML god, Logan, the puppeteer. That's why he's the face of God, because Logan is the voice of Braxton Jr., which is why he is worried about the strange Marvin that escaped the facility and took out the surviving Mario from the old universe. Now here's the thing, after taking out Mario, Marvin was terrified of what he saw, but yet he feels like he had a connection towards the Mario. He felt like he knew who he was, but Marvin questioned himself and said, could he have been me? Did I have a past life? Was I someone else before? With all these questions flooding his head, he then goes to the city, drives around like a maniac, doing what he wants to do. He would go to the stores and rob them as he knocks out the shopkeeper, getting the attention of the SML creator. Logan later contacts this anomaly. Marvin, who is that anomaly, decides to confront Logan and figure out what is going on, but Logan would tear him apart, ending the anomaly's life so that he wouldn't be in the way of his empire. On the other hand, Jeffy has been getting strange visions of the Hop Hop Bunny and other stuff. Jeffy was fully manipulated by the Athon. That's right, the being we see in this clip is named Athon. Jeffy would roam the facility, try to search for the real SML house, to find the heart of SML, which was the thing that kept everything together and sustained the SML in-universe gods. As Jeffy finds the house, he breaks into the area to find multiple clones in the camera escaping the facility because of his rampage. The moment he finds the heart, he destroys it with a hammer and then causes the event of the imbalance. The thing that kept everything together was now destroyed. The facility was destroyed, the gods of SML were dying, and destruction was everywhere. After the event, the SML world was in chaos. Many clones died. As for the ones that survived, they just wandered off, and creatures started to roam the area. Athon, the one who caused the destruction, was later exiled from the world as Dr. Frinkleschitz and the remaining clones tried to find the answer to reverse the damage that was done in their universe. But Braxton Jr. kills the doctor, leaving them with no hope until a new one occurred and would start healing the damaged universe. But there's something that we have not caught yet, and that is SML Wiki is not an ARG. And yes, I'm not kidding, the website creator confirmed it himself. I mean, let's be honest, this entire lore felt like it would come from a Cartoon Network show, Lost episode, or an Amazing World Gumball episode. But if it's not an ARG, then what's the point? The point is, it's supposed to be fun. That's exactly what makes this website so fascinating. The creepy feeling that gives off with the dark rooms, in addition to the creepy characters and their description, and the way they use funny YTPs to introduce the origins of the SML universe. It's the fact that the website allows us to be detectives and figure out the clues that we are given throughout this journey on the website and find the good ending. What I enjoy about the website was that me and many people were able to put theories and create a lore for the fun of it. But that's exactly what makes this website amazing. The story that we create from the smallest elements and clues that we are given helps us have fun and add a fan-made in-universe story to the big change that occurred in the SML channel, which is why this makes SML Wiki pretty amazing. And that will conclude today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed this. Originally, the video was supposed to be how weird and creepy the website was, but I just found it fascinating how going through the website, it made users feel like a detective about solving this weird mystery about what this website really is about. Overall, the website is still creepy with some stuff that I think are yet to be added, but I still enjoyed it, and I love how it's a combination of horror and funny YTPs. Also, the theory that I made, half of it was like my theory, but also theories that I found on the internet about this website lore, but I just combined my theories with the theories that everyone had on the lore. So no, I did not make up the entire lore in my head, but I did make some new theories. But if you guys want to check it out, it's smlwiki.com. Go check it out, have fun with it, and yeah. The website was made by Nezui. Go support him, show some love. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, have a nice day.